Hello, my name is Davian Watson. Today we're going to talk about the book of Romans. The book of Romans was written by Paul, and Paul was a person who went around persecuting Christians. His name was originally Saul, and he had a miraculous encounter with Jesus, which greatly changed his life. And now he's like a full devoted follower of the Lord, who has been accredited by his faith and his intimacy. Paul begins to describe that a big summary of the book of Romans is Paul's explanation of the gospel, the good news about Jesus' life and death and resurrection. I really want to sit down and focus on Romans 1 through 4. And basically, chapter 1 describes that all humanity is trapped in sin and needs to be rescued. In chapter 2, it describes rescue won't happen by trying to obey the law of the Torah. In chapter 3, God's righteousness has rescued the world through Jesus. Chapter 4, to create a faith-based multi-ethnic family through Abraham. And the reason why this is so significant is because for the longest, the only people of God were the Jews. And now everybody is welcome into the family of God. And so Paul is trying to teach them how to live in harmony. In the book of Romans is also emphasized about the justification by faith. Choosing to follow Jesus means leaving Adam's sinful humanity for Jesus' humanity. And Jesus has given everybody the ability to fulfill the greatest commandments, and reaffirms that God is not done with Israel. And our final point of the book is unifying Jesus' multi-ethnic family through love and forgiveness. So, justification by faith. Paul makes a point that Abraham's righteousness came by faith and not by the law. Abraham's righteousness could not have come by the law simply because the law of Moses did not exist. The law shows us we are sinners who deserve judgment. It does not give us the hope that we can save ourselves and by perfect obedience. Abraham was not a perfect man, so his righteousness could not have come through the law. And it comes through faith. Therefore, Paul falls back on Genesis 15, verse 6, which teaches that God credited Abraham's faith as righteous. Abraham could be declared righteous through his faith. So can anyone, Jew or Gentile, even you, who believes in Jesus Christ. In that sense, as Paul writes, Abraham is the father of us all. So a big debate that goes on is grace saves or does work saves? And the reason why this contradiction, people feel like this is a contradiction, is because in Romans 3:20, it says, because by the works of the law, no flesh will be justified in his sight. For through the law comes the knowledge of sin. For we maintain that a man is justified by faith apart from his works. Law. And then James 2:24 says, you see that a man is justified by works and not by faith alone. When James says this, he's not contradicting Romans. He simply is saying that those who say that they have faith but have no works, therefore people cannot tell if they are true believers or not because there is no fruit. True faith results in true works, and that's what James is really identifying right there. And then in Matthew 19, it says, and behold, one came to him and said, teacher, what good thing shall I do that I may obtain eternal life? And he said to him, why are you asking me about what is good? There is only one who is good. But if you wish to enter into life, keep the commandments. Jesus is you have to really put context in. If a person keeps all the commandments, it would seem that they could obtain eternal life. However, nobody can do that. Therefore, Jesus comments to this man and shows this man that justification can only come by faith and to keep all the commandments. And no one can keep all the commandments. And so it can only come through faith. So my final thoughts about this is, as humans, we are evil and sinful, but thanks be to God that we are not bound by sin because of the cross. Because of Jesus' resurrection, we are saved through grace and are made righteous through our faith. When we choose to follow Jesus, we choose to not let sin rule over our lives. Even though it is a part of our nature, as followers of Jesus, we strive to live in harmony and serve one another in love. I hope you enjoyed this presentation.